Hey, what's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC. Today we're talking Olight Black Friday sale. It's our biggest sale of the year every year, and today we're also going to be looking at the product that I'm probably most excited coming out of this sale, the Baton 4. We do have the premium edition, which has a wireless charging case that adds a ton of really cool functionality to this light. So stay tuned for that. But first I did want to talk about the sale briefly. Couple new products launching, not just the Baton 4. I know there's a new version of the i3T that I'm excited to take a look at. That one has a little bit more efficient use of the battery, a little bit better output, and some additional compatibility with some other power sources, which is exciting. In addition to that, there's one, I think it's called the Diffuse or Diffuser. Either way, I already ordered that one. Excited to see what that's all about. Don't have that in hand yet, but excited to get it. And then of course, some returning products with new versions or sale prices that are definitely worth picking up if you haven't picked them up in the past or just want, again, those new versions. So really fun freebies this time. There's a few different ones that are available. So those are always good to get in earlier than later because once they run out, they'll send replacements. You will get a freebie, but it might not be the one that you want. So if you're really chasing the freebie, I always say get that early on in the sale. But if you want to check out anything in this sale, I will link to the sale landing page in the description of this video. If you use that link, end up purchasing anything, it does help out the channel at no additional cost to you. Also have a coupon code UEDC10 that will save you 10% off regularly priced items, excluding the X9R. And so if you're just buying something during the sale that's not on sale, or maybe you find this video after the sale is over, that will save you a few bucks. So definitely check that out as well. Now, let's take a look at the flashlight itself. Really excited about this one. Again, with the premium edition, you get this wireless charger, but you don't have to buy it with the charger. So this version is gonna run about $100 off that sale. But during the sale, both versions are 30% off. So we're looking at $69.99 for the premium edition. You get 3 different color options. The black you see in front of you, there's a blue as well as a green, and all 3 come with a matching light. So since I have the black charger, of course I also have the black light. And we'll pull that out and talk about the charger last. Let's start with this light. You can see really tiny little light, great form factor, impressive amount of output for such a small light, but available in the same 3 colors as the premium edition and 1 additional color for this sale. So we have the black, the blue, and the green, of course, but then you also have what I'm calling candy cane. I don't know if that's actually the official name for it, but it's a red and white striped version, so calling it candy cane. And the light alone is $65 off the sale. With that 30%, you're looking at about $45, $49, so not too bad at all. Now, if you order the light, you're going to get the proprietary wireless charging cable that you normally see with a lot of the other Olights. If you order the premium edition, you don't. You get a USB-C cable because the case itself is USB-C rechargeable for both input and output. So this can charge other devices. And so you get a USB-C cable, but you do not get the proprietary cable that usually you'll see with some of these magnetic charging lights. Now those cables will still be compatible. The only difference is since you can just drop this in the case, you don't need that cable. That's why it doesn't come. But worth noting, just kind of based on what you order is what charging solution you're gonna get. Now as far as this light goes, really small footprint, 2.48 inches overall, so just a hair under 2.5 inches long. We have a diameter of about 0.83 inches at its thickest point and weighs in at just 1.85 ounces. Again, all of this is without the case. I'll give the case dimensions in a bit here. But really impressive output for it. One of the biggest changes from the Baton 3 to the Baton 4, obviously the case has a bit higher capacity and some additional functionality, but the button here, and so you can see you have a little bit more of a premium button than what you had on that Baton 3 that is color matched to the other kind of embellishments here. So our bezel and our pocket clip all have that matching blue, but around it is where some of the major upgrade is. So on the right hand side, you have 3 lights that are battery indicators, and on the left you have power indicators for how much output you're putting out. And so really nice kind of additions there. As far as the battery goes, you have the top one, which is 100 to 60%. So if all 3 lights are lit up green, you're above 60%. If you go into that middle, you're in the 10 to 60% range. And then if you go down to the bottom, you're under 10%, and that turns red at 5%. And so we can see that here, hopefully. That's picking up okay. But you can see all three of those indicators are on. And then on the left-hand side, we have one light, and that's because we're in a low mode. Now this does have memory mode, really easy operation on this one. At least if you're kind of familiar with the Olight operation, you're probably already used to this. So I was in low mode, so it came in on low mode, but we can hold that to cycle through them. The low mode is 12 lumens, so really nice usable low, and that lasts for 35 hours, throws about 18 meters, and has a candela of 81. Now cycling up to our next mode, you can see we have two lights lit up here, or hopefully you can see that. And that's all the way up to 60 lumens. We still have a runtime about 8 hours, 38 meter throw, 361 candela. And so really nice battery life on that one. Now moving into our high mode, that's where we jump up quite a bit. So we're gonna hold this one more time, and you can see that's significantly brighter here. And so we're getting 600 lumens in high, and that goes for 7 minutes, which is really impressive. It does step down after 7 minutes to 300 lumens. I like that a lot, that it's not stepping down to like our medium. We're stepping down to 300 lumens, which is still a nice bright light. That lasts for an additional 72 minutes. Before then, it finally steps down into that medium of 60 lumens, and we get another 16 minutes out of that. So in this 600 lumen mode though, we're getting 110 meter throw, 3025 candela, and we're really starting to put off some heat here. You can definitely feel it. Even several inches away from there, I'm feeling a little bit of a warm spot in the middle of my hand. So definitely getting pretty impressive there. We can turn it off, and when we turn it back on, because we turned it off in high mode, we'll jump right back into that high mode. Again, same thing. If we go from medium, turn it off, turn it back on, we're back in medium. So really nice memory mode on there. And then of course we have a couple other modes. There is a strobe mode, which I'm not going to show. That's the full 1300 lumens, but we also have the turbo, which is the same 1300 lumens, and you can get that by double tapping, and you can see really bright 1300 lumens. Now we only have about a minute and a half of runtime on this 1300 lumens, but probably more than you need for that turbo before it steps down to its regular high mode, 600 lumens, for an additional 2.5 minutes. And then from there we go into that same 300 lumen modes for 73 minutes. Now this turbo is going to throw about 170 meters. We're putting off 7,225 candela here. And again, this is going to be the same output that we're getting in the strobe mode, 13 hertz at 1300 lumens. And so just to preserve everybody's vision, I'm not going to go into that strobe mode, but we do have a Moonlight mode as well. And so that can't be gotten to through cycling, but you can hold this for about a second to get into that Moonlight mode. Now this is only a half a lumen, so it can be pretty difficult to see in this highlight environment, but really nice that in this half lumen mode, we're looking at 30 days of runtime, a 21 candela. They don't list the meters because I don't think you can really even see this at a meter out, but 30 days of runtime. Now, if you put that into that charging case, put it into that Moonlight mode, you're looking at 190 days. So you're running for months at that point. Really, really impressive, and it's a cool little mode. Now from there we can turn it back off. Now it does have memory for that Moonlight mode, so you want to cycle back into whatever mode it is that you want. If you want that 12 lumens, make sure you go into that 12 lumens from the Moonlight mode, and you can cycle directly from there. You don't have to turn it off. So really easy to operate, really nice functionality. Love the blue accents, which are different colors based on which flashlight you get, obviously, but really love the black and blue. Kind of classic look for Olight, even that classic knurling pattern. And the size on this is just super, super cool. Love the size and form factor of this overall. Now, I did mention some additional functionality with that premium edition. So we do have the case, which of course can charge the flashlight. And so that's just kind of the start of it. It's USB-C rechargeable, and it takes about 2.5 hours to charge the case, but the flashlight can be charged in about an hour from dead. So 2.5 hours to get to 100% on that case. We have a 5,000 milliamp 3.6 volt battery here, and that does charge devices as well. So really nice that we're using USB-C compatible with, you know, any of your USB-C cords. So really nice for charging, and this is still 100% pocketable, but when I've been carrying this, like the biggest outing I've taken this on was CCKS, I just threw it in my bag, was able to plug my phone in directly in my bag and just kind of keep everything in there, keep my phone charged, keep my flashlight charged all in one place, so that's cool. Now, this can also is compatible with some of their other lights. So notably the Baton 3, which has some of the same features of the Baton 4 and still can utilize those functionality. And you can see when it's charging, you have this red indicator. You can see the percentage when you first drop it in there as well that's available still. But in addition to the Baton 3, it will also charge the S1R2, the Perrin Mini, and the Perrin 2 Mini. Now I say charge because none of the functionality that you get in the Baton series is available with those other ones, but it will at least charge them. And so when I say functionality, this LED indicator is also our button. So you click that, it turns it on into the memory mode, last mode you were in, which I believe we were on that low. And so jumps right into that low, and this operates a lot the same way as the button, although a little bit different. So we can hold it for that 1 second to turn it on to the Moonlight mode, and then hold it again to kind of ramp. And so you can see it's a gradual ramp and ramp down, rather than stepping up and cycling through. So a little bit different than the buttons, and that means that you can get a lumen output that you can't get out of the stepped up modes through the regular button. So for example, you need a little bit more than 60 lumens, but less than the 600 lumens. You can kind of ramp up until you get to that point. Now there's no indicator to tell you where you're at, so it's just going to be a visual saying to get to exactly where you need to go, but does still have the memory in this mode. So we can close that up, and that turns it off, so you forget to turn it off and close it. It's not just going to be shining away in there. It will go back off and turn back on with that memory mode of wherever you cycled it to. And so kind of a cool way to get into a lumen output that you couldn't get through the regular functionality of that light. Now, you don't have your turbo mode, so double clicking, not full functionality within the case, but the functionality that you do have I think is very cool. And like I said, I really like that you can just use it. You can cycle through those different modes here and get to different light levels, and then when you're done with it, just close it away, and all that while it's still charging in that charging base. And you can see as soon as you take that out, it stops charging. As soon as I drop it back in, we'll get that red light indicator here that is charging that will turn green once we're fully charged. And so a lot of really cool extra functionality with this with the case. Super excited about this one, but also some of the other offerings as well. I've already done an order. The freebies are a little bit different this month. There's one if you've never ordered before, I believe the black lava, and then a couple different options if you have ordered before, and that's going to be random. And there are some that they haven't even shown yet. One thing I will say with the freebies is if that's what you're chasing, order early. You know, the sale runs all the way till the 27th, but historically, like last month, for example, they had the skulls, but if you didn't get it in day one, maybe the first day and a half or so, those eventually sold out. Now you still get a free flashlight, but they just sent out orange ones for the people that didn't get that skull. So if that's something that's important to you, I'd say jump on the sale early. But if you don't care, you just want a freebie, they are truly free, and one of the coolest things about their sales. But let me know what you plan on picking up during the sale, what you think of the Baton 4, if you have any plans of picking one up. Like I said, 4 different versions. That candy cane version is sweet, but you end up missing out on the charging case, which I don't think you can buy separately. You're only going to be able to get it as the part of the kit as far as I know, although don't quote me on that. But thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and hitting the notification button. And as always, I hope you have a great one. Take care.